Hello everybody, welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's video. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and make sure you guys tune in on Thursdays at 6 o'clock for our premiere video where we will have a live chat. So you can stop on in and chat with us. We can discuss our plans for the live streaming that we hope to be able to do soon. And otherwise, you can just come in and say hi. We definitely appreciate it. If we start getting a decent turnout for it, we'll probably start doing it maybe twice a week. And otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and jump into today's video. So today's video, I just want to explain something. I see this come up a lot in the comments, and it's very, very true. But I want to show why it's not always the best thing to do, and that is buy bets. Buy bets outside of the 4 and 10, because at most casinos, the 4 and 10 are going to become a buy automatically at a certain level, be it $25, $20, $10. Some places are auto buys at $10. So very rarely will you see this buy button come into play, because if it's an auto buy, we just don't waste our time with it. Even at the $25 level, the proper way of doing it is to take the place bet, put a buy button on it, and pull it inside like it's a come bet. But again, most places are just going to leave it right there because we know it's a buy. We know how it pays. It's almost instinctive to us to pay it. Now with the 5 and 9, you can certainly buy it. And most likely it's going to be similar to the 4 and 10, where most places you're going to pay the vig afterwards. Now, where does it become good to buy it? Well, theoretically at the $25 mark. Theoretically, and let me show you why. On a place bet, that 25 is going to pay you 35, okay? And apologies, my hands aren't very good. I carved a chunk out of my finger the other day while cooking in the middle of the night, so not my finest moment. Now, as a buy, that $25 pays $37.50, because it would pay as if it were odds, minus a vig. Now, it's going to depend on whether or not the casino charges a courtesy buy of only $1 here, or if they round it up like casinos do with most bets and then charge $2. Worst case scenario, it pays $35. Best case scenario, it pays $36. So you're already making a profit. But once you get past that, now at 30 as a buy would pay $45 minus the vig. So it would pay $43 as a buy. As a place bet, $30 pays $42. So you see where it starts to become advantageous once you hit the green level to do a buy. It would theoretically pay you more. It pays you $1 more, $2 more, so on and so forth. And then it just builds up from there. I mean, we go into, let's look at, say, the $100 level just for fun. Okay, you've got a $100 buy. That's going to be a $5 vig. Now it's going to pay $145 because it pays $150 minus the vig, whereas a $100 place bet is going to pay you $140. So you're making $5 more. So $5 is fairly significant when you're playing a lot and hitting a lot of numbers. So it definitely looks to become more advantageous for you. So why do we not recommend it with most strategies? Here's the reason why. Because it is extremely rare. And because it's extremely rare, it's not something that the dealers are going to bump up into very often, if at all. I cannot remember the last time I had someone buy the 5 or 9. I do know it happened once in the last few years, but I want to say it was 2.5 to 3 years ago. So I can't remember exactly when it happened. I can't remember how much it was. I just remember that the player wanted to buy it. So we were able to do it, and fortunately for us, it was on my side, and it was one of my players. So it didn't slow the game down. But because of its rarity, a buy on the 5 and 9 will do just what I just said. It will slow the game down. It slows the game down. It can sometimes bring it to a dead stop. Because what will happen, if you're at a break-in casino, if you're at one of the off-strip places that have dealers that have been dealing 6 months or less, there's a good chance that at first they're going to argue with you or be confused and give you a blank look. Now, we cover buy bets and being able to buy the 5 and 9 in the school, but we cover it very briefly because, again, it's very, very rare. So it's something we cover, and then it never comes up again. So it's covered for about 20 minutes, never brought up again because, again, we just don't see it. So there's a chance that the dealer is going to look at you with a blank look. There's also a chance that the dealer is going to argue with you saying it can't be done, when, of course, it can be done, in which case then either one of those scenarios, they're looking at you with a blank look or they're arguing with you, either one of those scenarios, the game has to stop so that you or the dealer can look at the box and have the box make the decision and explain and educate the dealer. Now, if you're at a place that is not a break-in house, chances are pretty good that the dealers, I would say 70% of the experienced dealers, will at least remember that you could buy the 5 and 9, because it will have come up at least once. Like I said, at least once every 3 or 4 years. So just often enough that they'll at least know in the back of their head that you can buy the 5 and 9. So you won't be met with a blank look. You're not going to be met with an argument. What you're going to be met with is, once again, the table stopping, so the dealer can turn to the box and ask what the VIG is going to be, unless it happens to be one that is dead on. $20, $40, $80, $100. Something that is dead on to where the 5% VIG comes out to an exact dollar amount. But anything else, the dealer's going to have to stop and ask the box what the VIG is going to be, because it's just not something we automatically know. Dealers automatically know that a buy on the 10 has a $1 VIG, not because that's what it should have. The VIG should be $1.25, but because most casinos will offer this as what we call a courtesy buy. They'll let you buy it, and the casino will actually eat the overage, which is pretty rare. Typically, the player has to eat the overage, and the casino makes the extra money. But that's on the 4 and 10. There's no guarantee that the 5 and 9 is going to be a courtesy buy. This could very well be a $2 VIG, because the VIG is $1.25, and like most payouts, it's going to get rounded to the nearest, and rounding always favors the casino. Again, except in the courtesy buy situation. Same thing once you get to $30. Now you've got that question. What is this? Is this a $2 VIG? Is it still a $1 VIG? Where's it going to be at? What if you did a $50 buy? A $50 buy on the 4 and 10 would be a courtesy buy at $2. It's $2.50 VIG, so what is it going to be on the 5 and 9? So again, it's going to bring the game to a stop while the dealer has to stop and ask the box what the VIG is going to be. And if you keep pressing your bet, which if it's part of a strategy you probably are pressing, they're going to have to ask this question almost every single bet. On top of that, their payouts are going to be slower, because most payouts we don't even think about. We just look down at it, we just glance at the bet, and our hands just automatically start cutting out the payout because we've paid it so much. But when you're getting into something like this that we haven't paid out a lot, we have to stop and think about it. We're going to have to stop, calculate out the odds, subtract out the VIG. It's not difficult math, it's not long math. It's just something that breaks from the routine, so it makes us stop and take a look at it. Most of what we do is just so automatic. We're basically dealing on autopilot. And something that a lot of players seem to forget, the players that play the same way every single time, same hot bets and center action with the same parlays or presses and stuff like that, they know exactly what their bets pay because they pay the same way every single time. The dealer's not paying just your bets, though. That's why it's so frustrating when players are like, it's 8 change, give me 12 change, press this, press that, give me 12 change. First off, the dealer can't take your word for it. They have to calculate out the payout themselves. And it's a lot more difficult and slows it down when a player keeps shouting numbers into their ear while they're trying to do the math, because it just breaks your concentration every time and you have to start over. Okay? And second off, we're dealing with 8 players with like 15 different bets that we could be paying out. And not just your bet. So we're not just hyper-focused on one person's bet so that we always know what it pays out. I typically will know the weirdest bet on the table. I'll know what it pays out. I'll always calculate that one out just in case it hits. Or whichever one I don't have, that I don't automatically know. But I can't always pull that off, especially when you've got a lot of press this, press that, center action stuff, and then the dice go. I don't generally have time to sit there and calculate it out before the dice land, and I have to start paying again. So those are the weaknesses with buying the 5 and 9. It's definitely advantageous for you on a money side of things. Depends on how much a smooth, fast-flowing game matters to you. If you're okay with a game that comes to a stop every few rolls because they have to ask some questions or calculate out what your payout is, then fine. And absolutely, it is advantageous for you to buy the 5 and 9. If you're more interested in a quick, smooth, fast-flowing game, then you may not want to buy it just because you want to keep with more standard bets that can get paid out very, very quickly. So either one, it's entirely up to you. There's nothing wrong with buying it. There's nothing wrong with placing it. It's entirely up to whatever your comfort level is. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or just plain fun. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.